There's something that's really special with getting to collaborate with a former teacher on something big, and this was so much fun for me to put together. I went into my spring break thinking I was going to take a day, record one of my former band directors, Mr. Untch, and get some words of wisdom for my students as they graduate 8th grade this year. And that was awesome. We got to do an interview, and I got to ask him questions about his time in middle school. He went to the school that I'm currently teaching at, so it's really just full circle. All of that came together. While I was there, we actually ended up doing a recording studio tour of a brand new recording studio that he's been putting together at his high school, my former high school. So this is just a wild video. I loved doing it. And if you like and subscribe, that really supports this channel. And I just want to give back to Antioch by sharing this awesome clip. So any alumni that are there seeing this, make sure you like, share. I want you to send this out to the community and show them how cool it is that Antioch has something special like this, its own recording studio. So, like I said, please like, subscribe to support the channel. I love to do content like this and support local musicians and support where I grew up. So, I hope you enjoy. We'll see you at the end.
So here we are again, we're bending backwards again, pretending this is all new and right.
A little tour of the space. Cool. Well, so this is the choir room, but this is also going to be our big live tracking room. So if we have a big orchestra or band or choir, we can clear out the space and have people recording in here, which connects to the smaller live room back in here. So right now we're set up to record the ACHS musical pit band. This year we're doing Bring It On, so it's like a rock band setup. So you've got 2 keyboard players, a drummer, a bass player, a guitar player, so they can all track in here. So this is like the smaller live room. And then back in here is the control room, where everything from the choir room and from the live room here all would come into the brain of the operation here. We got the Midas M32 there. Yeah, a little bit of outboard gear, not too much, but we can at least run some like preamps and compression and.
Is that what that is, a compressor?
Yeah, so the UA is a preamp and it has a compressor in it. It's got the, I forget what the really popular universal audio compressor is. There's like a UA 7600 or something. I'm probably getting the number wrong, but so they put that into here. And then, yeah, we got some other compressors and noise gates up there too. So if we're doing like a drum kit, we can bring in like the kick and the snare and, maybe like the toms, we can run it through that to get some actual real tube compression and everything before we go into the digital side of things. So yeah, just to be able to teach the students a little bit about how it works outside the box, right? So, yeah. So.
This is, and then the back.
Oh yeah, we're starting to
Did you do the diffuser?
Yeah, we started building diffusers back there. We're gonna fill out the rest of the wall here too. So that's a work in progress, but the room already sounds pretty good. Like it's not totally dead. It's got like that perfect amount of liveness to it. And then out there, we might put a few more sound panels out there to just then a few more things. Like, for right now, it's working really well because we're using the electric drum kit, so everything's really quiet in the room. But as soon as you get like a live drum kit in here, it's still kind of a loud room. So we're gonna do a little bit more sound dampening out here. So
I love the cardinal and gray.
Yeah,
especially with the Nord. The Nord.
Yeah, the Nords, right? The Nords, being red, like obviously, as you know, the Nord keyboards, they're great, but they also just look great too. So
now, is one of them yours personally, or are they both the high schools?
Both the schools, yeah. So I think everything in here is the schools, except I brought my Helix rig in. Other than that, yeah, it's all school stuff. So I got the grand piano in there too.
Is that from the stage?
Yeah, So we've been keeping it here. That way we can humidify the room here too and just kind of protect it a little bit more. And then obviously when live performances come back, we can wheel that out to the stage again and use it out there if we need to. So, yeah.
I'm like, my grin is huge.
Behind the mask. Yeah.
This is amazing. So then you've got, do you use this as like a little ISO box for the guitar kit?
Yeah, so we've got a bunch of these, you know, clear sonic things, and we've got like the plastic shields as well. So if we wanted to completely surround it, we could. The volumes in here for this project haven't been too bad, so we just kind of put it behind to get a little, since it's an open back cab, to steal a little bit of that reflection. But it's been okay so far. But we have that, and then we have a bunch of more clear sonic stuff if we bring an actual drum kit in here to kind of shield some of that stuff. But obviously with the electric kit, we don't need that. So, but yeah, the other thing we can do too is we can put amps in like the room next door, or we can put them out in the choir room, and we can mic them up out there too, just to get a little bit of isolation from this space. So
I am super I didn't know that the space was back here.
yeah.
Because wouldn't it just have been the library?
So it was,
Practice room?
yeah, this was the choir library, and then right here would have been the choir practice rooms along here, and then this right here would have been the hallway connecting the two.
And then the office was over here too? Or
Yeah.
was it in a practice room?
Yeah, it was practice room, like storage, library. Mr. Hickey had a little office like right here, so we blew that all out so that it's kind of weird that it's an L shape, but it kind of works too because we can use the control room also as an isolation space. So like we've been recording the band live in here, and we've been putting a singer in there.
Yeah.
So we can track all together. So that's been working pretty well. And then I think the next step, like a few years out, would be putting some windows here. So that way the old MIDI lab, that could be another space too that we could put people in and record from as
Now,
well.
these are massive, these LGs.
Yeah. So the plan with these, like for now, I just throw the session up there so the musicians in the room can see what we're recording. So it's just kind of fun. They can track along. But eventually what we're going to do is have people on stage performing with musicians playing from here. So the cameras on stage will be showing the actors and actresses like on these TVs. So that way the pit, instead of being like under the stage like at some places, or like we used to, you know, be behind the stage, now we can just sit in here and we can watch the production on the screens and play along from here.
Now I've seen, when I was doing my student teaching in Geneseo, they piped it in with a small little monitor, I think, and then they also had like a few room mics.
Mm-hmm.
But this seems like you've got like the 32. Is that like an S32 or the M32?
Yeah, it's the M32
Yeah,
or
so you can-
whatever that is. Yeah.
This is super cool. So everybody can be, at least sections can be mic'd up
Yep.
individually.
Depending on the show, like for example, this show, obviously everyone's got direct ins, every channel's covered. When it's a more traditional pit with like strings and stuff, you know, we'll probably use some room mics, but also maybe some individual miking too. And yeah, we can, you know, we got 64 inputs, so we can track everything from here. And then just with one Ethernet line going to the stage, we can just pipe out our mix from here. So yeah.
That is amazing.
And then we got the headphone amps, so that way we can come out, as you know, from the stage box, and then we can pump into here, and everyone can get their own mix from there. So that way everyone has total control. So the drummer can have lots of drums, and the bass player can have lots of bass, and yeah, all that good stuff. What's up?
Am I interrupting?
No, but
No?
would you like to say hi to any ACHS alum?
I mean, hi, any ACHS alums. I'm glad to be with you virtually.
Yay.
Yay.
Oh my gosh, it's great to see you. Holy
Likewise.
cow.
I just wanted to come in and say hello. So,
When I first like met you when I was a student, and you had talked about all these things, I was like, I don't really know what any of this is, and now like, holy cow, I see it coming back. This is,
Yep.
You probably had this vision for a while.
I think we all just each year, like we wanted to get more into recording the ensembles more and more and more. And then when this opportunity came up to actually like build a space that you can put a band in and do something, like we all just jumped at the chance. So
we're very lucky to be so supported by the administration, because I think there's a lot of teachers who have a lot of ideas like this, and they just don't get to have them.
yep.
So, it's
Yeah.
really, really cool. Well, I'll leave you two alone. I'm not, you know,
No worries.
really on camera right now. But it's good to see you.
It's
Yeah.
good to see you. Thank you, Mr. Riggs.
Yeah. Everything is just slightly off of 90 degrees. So, you know, as you're standing here, it looks like this is a square, but it's just ever so slightly off. And then the ceiling is pitched, right? So you don't have any parallel surfaces in here. And the cinder block wall and this wall are, you know, slightly off from each other on purpose. So that way a sound wave going back and forth doesn't, you know, start reflecting too much. So they designed the space really well like that. So that way the room itself sounds pretty decent. Like, we don't have too much sound absorbing in here. Like, we have these panels, we have the curtain, we have some bass traps, but like over here, there's not too much, and it sounds like that perfect amount of liveness, in my opinion. And then yeah, behind there you got all the cables and all that stuff kind of hiding there, which is kind of cool. So you can open up the.
It's music around there.
Exactly. As you can tell, we haven't even opened most of these yet, but you know, you can pin the curtains back if you don't want as much, you know, absorption on this wall, and then we can just go like that.
No, I found that the pegboard is great for.
Oh, it is?
That.
Okay, good.
For cables and all that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just don't have the space to do that.
Right. Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you make these? I don't remember if you said.
So these are in our offices. We used to have when Mr. Hayes was here, he got some sound absorbing panels made, and then we rewrapped them. We like bought the material and rewrapped them just to like give it a little facelift, and then we bought these.
At Winston, we did. We wrapped them in the green, and we're gonna do a green and gold and all that. So
that's
just
awesome.
to, you know, repurpose the old ones, and they still work just fine.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, and then we bought those bass traps to stick up in the corners just to stop the rumble from happening in here too much. So.
Do you get a PA announcement? Is that what that is?
Yeah, to be honest, we didn't want that in here, but apparently that's against law. You have to have like the school. I mean, it's still a school. Like, we want it to be a recording studio, but you're still a school, so you have to have the call button and the,
of course.
you know, the announcements. So.
Do you get like because the band room typically does like a flashing light. I don't know if ACHS has that, but we do right now.
Yeah.
Do you have that in here?
No, they only have that in the gyms and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. This is amazing.
Ooh, I should show you the mic locker. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. I gotta grab my key for the mic locker. Hang on. Yeah. A mic locker room here. So, our favorite mic so far is the Neumann U87.
Oh my.
So we got a pair of those. So we can do, I mean, obviously, as you know, like, those will do everything. So we've used them on singers, and I threw one in front of a clarinet player yesterday, and it just, you know, it sounds perfect.
Do the kids know, like, the history behind some of them, or?
Not yet. Definitely not. We're just slow. Like, in the music production class, we're also going to have an advanced music production, and in the advanced class, I think they'll start to learn more about like these actual mics. Now, here's my favorite one. I didn't know that this mic existed until our engineer kind of put the studio together. It's a ribbon mic, and ribbon mics always kind of terrify me because of how fragile they are and everything. But, dude, look at this thing.
Whoa.
So it's 2 ribbon mics in one. So it's a stereo microphone, right? So you have to use their own little cable, so that way you can plug into the mic here with this little weird 5-pin thing, and then that kicks you out to 2 normal XLRs, so you can actually record this in stereo. So you can just set this in front of somebody and get just like perfect stereo image of what they're doing, and not have to worry about phase and everything, because, you know, the mic, it's all just built in.
Do you have any preamps that you like to use with them? Or
Yeah. So we ended up, so the Midas preamps actually have been pretty good, pretty clean, and we've been getting a decent amount of gain from them, but we discovered that with these ribbon mics that the gain was pretty low. So we ended up getting the AEA preamps for them. So I'll show you that. So we put those in the rack over here. We decided to put it here because that way, if we wanted to do this on stage or something, we could, obviously this is mobile, so one preamp can take the 2 signals from one mic, so we got 2 of them, so we can have 2 ribbon mics going there, and then those are just patched into the stage box, and that way you can get a nice amount of gain from those and not have to worry about pushing it all from the board. And I didn't know this until this year, but apparently if you send phantom power to a ribbon mic, it can like destroy it immediately. Right, so we're like, oh man, that's like normally we're always like, oh yeah, give it phantom power, right? So that's why we like these two, because we have the phantom power turned off those, and we know if we only plug the ribbon mics into those preamps, then we'll be safe, because it's not gonna, nothing bad's gonna happen then. So,
what are some things that you have in place so that students are safe with the equipment?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Because like this is amazing, but you know, one mistake could cost dollars. Yeah, just off the top of your head, what are some things that you think you teach right away for some of the beginners?
Well, so one of the things is like when we set up the Neumann U87 mic, we use this mic stand because it's so heavy and heavy duty, and it's not going to fall. Like if I do this, it's not going to fall over. If I do that, it'll move, but it's not going to fall over. So any of the expensive mics, we always just set it up on a nice stand. So that way we know they're a little bit more protected. For the ribbon mics, we haven't let any students set those up yet. We do have to figure out that procedure of like how are we gonna, do that. And I think what it's gonna be is in our advanced music production class, those are gonna be the students that learn how to do that kind of stuff. So once they learn it in class, then they'll be trusted to kind of run the space. Because we want to build up a crew of students who do this stuff. So it's not just the teachers setting up stuff for the kids. The kids can come in here, I can sit in the corner, and then we can just let loose in here. That's the goal. So yeah, probably just teaching them in that advanced class. And that's honestly probably the only thing that scares me about the space is just like the fragility of the microphones, but they're tools. Like if it breaks, we'll try to get it repaired. We'll try to get a new one, things happen. Trying to leave stuff set up. Like I tell the percussionists too, like leave all the stuff set up. We'll try to make it plug and play. Like pick up your cord, plug it in, and it's ready to go. And also I track the guitars and bass with the DI as well. So I come in from the instrument to the DI.
I just picked up
do that.
Those.
Yep, those are great.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that I have those forever. The
Yep.
stereo one, right?
Yeah, we got some mono ones and some stereo ones, I think. Yeah, that one's a stereo one. Just also too with, I know this is going to be controversial, but I am a fan of amp modelers and amp sims and IRs and cab models and all that stuff. So, and a lot of guitar people aren't. But I think that if I record, if the guitar is going into the amp and I'm getting a nice clean direct signal, then I can take the amp stuff, see if it sounds good. If it doesn't, I can take the clean DI signal and run it through an amp sim. If I like or don't like that, I can shoot it back out and reamp it, and record that. So it just I feel like it gives us protection and flexibility and everything with that. So, because I don't know, I know it's controversial. A lot of guitar players will say, oh no, you got to have a tube amp. There's nothing like having a real amp in the room. It's like, yeah, but also, it's 2021. There's some pretty good technology out there to mess with and try. So I'm all for experimenting with the new stuff.
I agree. I use the stock Studio One amp sims right now, and they're pretty good.
Yeah, they'll get the job done.
So yeah, that's
Yep.
Wow, that's nice. Awesome. And then you said the MIDI room, is that under construction or?
So yeah, let's check the connection or anything there. So now, some of the keyboards are gone because people took them home to work on homework and stuff. But now we've got the Arturia Key Lab keyboards for everybody. Yeah, so that way, and the thing I love about the Arturia ones is they come with a bunch of software too. You can use them as plugins in the DAW, or you can use it like as a standalone thing. So all those now are hooked up to, got the little Mac Minis. So that way you can actually do MIDI stuff and yeah.
Oh my, I gotta check this out. I gotta do like a full panorama. Yeah. Like all these key steps. These are the key steps or the key labs?
Key Lab, yeah.
Wow.
And it's really cool when the room is full and it's not picked apart and they're all lit up like that one in the corner is plugged in. Yeah, when they're all lit up like that, it's pretty cool in here.
That's amazing. Yeah, because I remember I only had a few classes in here with Mr. Riggs.
Yeah.
And I remember we were just using Note Flight.
Yep.
To compose. Yeah.
But it's so nice to be able to go like C, and then it shows up on the screen. You know, like that's what you need to be able to do.
No, but then these are amazing because I feel like a lot of the well, does it do like step sequencing at all? Or
Yep.
It does.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so as you can see with this huge blank wall, this on the other side is the studio. So eventually if we can put some windows in here, then this becomes another tracking space. So you could put, you know, a jazz band rhythm section in here, and then you could put the horns in that room and record all together and get some really nice isolation between the groups. So that's next on the horizon, you know, a few years out to just really blow the space up. So the other idea was to build, this is your history right here.
The history of.
Let me get out of the way. Might be in the band room.
That 2015 would have been.
Yeah, probably. Man, that seems like forever ago.
We would have been at. I would have been 2013 on. Well, 2012, 2011 maybe. 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'd have been 12 through 15.
Yep. So there you go. Best marching there from you.
From Marengo. Oh my gosh.
Yep. Got on the road. So we took the old. This rack over here was the jazz choir wireless microphone rack, and we wanted to be able to like take that and make it a recording setup. So we took advice from you and got the X32 rack. So that way now we can run everything through here, and then if we're doing a live show, then we can just use the iPad to mix that, and but then obviously we can use that as our recording interface too. So now anywhere we go with this, now we can record all the wireless microphones at the same time, and obviously plug in other stuff to it, and do some in-ear monitors too. We don't have any wireless in-ear monitors yet, but that's hopefully at some point. But
And then do you have the S16, or is that that's the S32?
32, yeah.
So you've got 48 channels on this rig.
Yep. And so here's all the tails of the wireless mics, so we can patch any of those in, obviously to there, and record what we're doing wirelessly. But then if we're doing jazz choir with jazz band, then obviously we can pump in the the drum mics and everything like that. We can just patch them in there. So now we got kind of a little mobile recording set up here too. So.